So the next bar has formed and price has moved in our direction by quite a lot. But what we see here is we have another pivot low here. And so on the left we've got a higher low. The low here is 0.86902 and the low here is 0.86898 and the low here is obviously a lot higher. So we have a pivot low here, and so this low is at 0.8689. So we'll put our stop just a bit below at 87. So if we're going to put our stop at 0.8687, then broker wise we're going to put a stop at 0.8686. So if we just go to our broker screen, left click and move this to 0.8686. So not a lot of pips above where we had it before, but nevertheless we are locking in more profit. A new pivot low has formed, and so we've just moved our stop slightly higher. Now let's just wait for the next few bars to form to see if we form another higher pivot low. So I'll restart the video after an hour or so to see where the market has gone. Okay, so we've had a big jump in price. Now this is a gap because this trade followed on from the weekend, and on the open after the weekend we had a jump in prices, but we don't want to look at MetaTrader when there's a gap. We go to our broker screen, we right click on the currency, go to open chart and click on the hourly time frame because that's what we're trading. And as you can see, we are dealing with the last few bars, and as you can see there is no gap, there's just this big green bar, and we have our stop below this red bar here. So as you can see there are no pivot lows that have formed since this pivot low here where we've got our current stop. So we just have to wait for a pivot low to form to lock in more profit and move our stop higher. So when there is a gap on MetaTrader, best thing to do is look at your broker screen, pull up the chart of the currency and see whether there is a gap or whether MetaTrader just hasn't recorded every single price, because there is some time fluctuations between MetaTrader and the actual market. So don't worry about that. This is a great thing, we're in a lot of profit here. So we're just waiting, just as per the rules, waiting for a pivot low for us to move our stop higher. So as you can see we're in a lot of profit here. And we're just waiting for another pivot low to form for us to move our stop higher. So we just treat this gap as one big bar up to here, and so we haven't got any sort of pivot low here yet. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to leave this trade overnight now, and our stop is below this red low here, and let's just let the market carry on doing what it's doing, let it fluctuate, and we will move our stop to the nearest pivot low from current price. So I'll pause the video now and we'll restart the video in a few hours. Okay, so here's how it progressed after a few more bars. Now sometimes when you leave it overnight, you may get a break of a low pivot that you would have normally put your stop under, but then price just carries on going up. Now you can't help that. If the trade goes overnight, you can't help if you still stay in the trade that you could have otherwise got stopped out of. Now that's not the case here, but I'm just saying that that may be the case when you leave some trades overnight. In that case, you just move your stop to the most recent pivot low and you just trail as normal, even though you may have got stopped out earlier on in the trade if you had been trailing through the night. Now here we see that our pivot low formed here, and you wouldn't have got stopped out at all. Price did not go lower than this pivot low, and no other pivot low has formed yet. So even if we were trading throughout the night, we'd still be in this trade, and as you can see, we entered here, stop was here, and now we're all the way up here. So we've got a nice amount of profit here. And let's just double check what price we've got here at this pivot low. So the low here is at 0.8752. So let's say we're going to put our stop around about here. So 0.8748. So broker wise, we want to put our stop at 0.8747 because we're selling at this stop if price comes down. And with the sell price, we only go 1 pip below. With the buy price, we go 2 pips above for broker price. So 0.8747, so let's go to the broker screen. As you can see, we're in a nice amount of profit here, nearly $9,000. So left click on the stop and let's change this to 0.8747. Click OK. And now we've got our stop at 0.8747. So we enter at 0.8660 and our stop, our worst case scenario here is that price comes down and we get out at 0.8747. So it's still a great trade even if price comes back down. And that's it, guys. We just wait for pivot lows to form and we just keep moving our stop higher and higher and making more and more money. Now in this trade we're in a good position because even if price comes down, we've made great risk reward. So let's just see if the market gives us more money now. Let's see if a higher pivot low forms so we can move our stop higher and lock in more profit. So I'm going to pause the video now and I'll restart it in an hour or so and we'll see where the market takes us. So now we may have another pivot low forming here if this bar's low does not break this low here. So let me just draw that for you. So if this bar's low here does not go lower than this low here, then this low is going to be a pivot low and we can move our stop from this point here up to here and lock in all that profit. So hopefully we don't get a break of this low, and after this bar here has completed, we'll be able to tell whether we've got a pivot low here or not, and then we can move our stop. So I'll just pause the video and I'll wait for this bar to complete, and then we'll see whether we can move our stop higher or not. Okay, so this bar's just completed, and as we can see, this low has a higher low to the right and a higher low to the left. Therefore, this low is a pivot low. The price of this low is 8829 and this low here is 0.88306. So we want to put our stop below this low here, so I'll put it around about here at 8828. So that means broker wise we'll put our stop at 0.8827. So let's go to our broker screen, left click on stop and change it to 0.8827. So 0.8827 and we click OK. And so our stop is now at 0.8827. So let's see if price carries on going up or if we get stopped out. If we get stopped out, we've got good risk reward here. If we don't, then we'll just lock in more profit. So I'll pause the video now and we'll see where the market takes us. Okay, so I returned to the screen, and as we can see, we had price come down and cross below our stop level. So I went to my broker screen and I can see that our order is now out of the open positions window, meaning it has been taken out. So we've come out at our stop level at a good amount of profit at $8,016. So our open was at 0.8660 and our close was 0.8827. So that was a hefty amount of profit there. We risked around about $1,000 and we made over $8,000, so it's over 8 to 1 in risk reward, so a very good risk reward there. So it was a great trade. Now the good thing about this is I walked away from my screen, and then when I returned I saw that price did spike down below our stop price, and then I went to my broker screen and I saw that we were automatically taken out of our positions. So you don't need to be in front of the screen once you've put in your stop and your target prices. Whether it's an OCO order or you're just trailing your stop, you can just leave the screen, carry on with your daily activities and just come back and just adjust your stops or look for your other trades. So there is a minimal amount of time that you actually need to spend in your trading. It's really just about managing your open positions, which don't take long at all. So it was a great trade. In the space of around about 24 hours, we have made over $8,000 with risking $1,000. Now, of course, you can make a lot more. As I do normally risk a lot more than that. But we're just looking at a $50,000 account for an example and a 2% risk. You can adjust all of that according to your level of comfort and how comfortable you are putting in that risk. So it's all up to you. You can risk a lot more. If you've got a bigger account, obviously you're going to be making a lot more. But the point here is it's not about the money side. We know we can make a lot more money by just putting in more money. The point is that you need to understand the strategy and get used to and get experience in trading this strategy. Making more money is a cinch. You just do the same thing, but just instead of putting in a certain amount, you put in more. So it literally is just clicking a few more buttons or entering in a higher number in terms of how many currency units you want to buy or sell. So that's not really the issue here. And that's a given. You're always going to be able to make more money at this. As you grow, you're going to put in more and you're going to make more money. So it's a win-win situation, and that's what's so great about currency trading. So that was broker trade number 5. It's very important that you go over the live broker trades as many times as possible so you can fully understand and can follow through the real trade management in the market. As you can see, you can make bucket loads of cash in the market. And as long as you trade as I've shown you here, there's nothing that can stop you from making a great living from trading. If you think this is powerful stuff, then you'll be amazed by what I cover in the upgradable membership here at Trade to Success University. In this higher level of membership, I cover even more powerful trading techniques that enable you to make even more money from the market. These advanced techniques are used by only the most successful traders. And this is what the big banks utilize in the market to make those record earnings you're always hearing about in the news. It's a myth that the little guy at home can't make the money the big traders in the city make. And that is exactly what I prove in our higher level membership here at Trade to Success University. If you think these broker trades were a good amount of profit, then the trades in the higher level membership will just blow you away. These broker trades I just showed you are just the tip of the iceberg. Our next level of membership allows you not just to secure your financial life, but really catapult the level of income you will make from the market. If you want to take your trading to the next level, then you can upgrade your membership through the relevant links in the members area. Meanwhile, make sure you fully understand the live broker trades. Watch them over as many times until you're comfortable with and can fully understand my trade management. Once you've done that, if you just click over to the next page, you can continue with the training. This is Kumar, and I'll see you in the next video.